Hi everybody, it's Mrs. Garibaldi and I am here today to do guided reading lesson number 2 with you. So if you haven't watched number 1, go ahead, go onto my YouTube channel and find my guided reading lesson number 1. But today we're going to be doing a book called In the Desert. And before we start reading this book, I wanted to review our color words. So let's take a look at these guys right here. Let me see. I wonder if I scooch myself over if that would help. So if we take a look here, let's look at our color words. We have the color word red. We have the color word yellow. The color word blue. Orange. Green. Purple, which you guys know is my favorite, brown, pink, black, and white. All right, my friends? So you are going to see some of these words in the book we're going to be reading today, which is why I had us review those. So make sure that when we get to some of these words, we're thinking in terms of color words too, okay? Because I know sometimes we forget that. Let me go ahead. Let me share my screen with you. Again, we're going to be working on our reading strategies as always. Okay, and so let me go ahead. I'm going to move the book so all you see is the reading strategies. I'm going to zoom in here. Let's really look at these today. Okay, because I want to make sure that even during your independent reading, you are using these reading strategies. Okay, friends? So always one of our easiest strategies we can use is looking at those pictures, okay? If your book has a picture in it, the pictures are there to help you and to give you more information, okay? So we're going to be looking at the pictures. And then we're also going to be looking at those beginning sounds, okay? That's how you're going to know, and it gives you an example right here if it's dog or puppy, because the picture, it could be either, right? Sometimes the picture shows us maybe something. We have to look at those beginning sounds and get our mouth ready to kind of figure out what word it might be. And then we're gonna also need to look at the ending sounds too, okay? To make sure that we're not missing those endings. All right, always as we read, we're thinking to ourselves, does this make sense? Because when it stops making sense, we've got to stop and go back and reread, okay? We're going to see if that word sounds right in the sentence, okay? We're going to make sure it looks right, okay? We haven't really worked on guessing yet because I don't just want to start guessing words, because I know that's how we started kindergarten, is by pretend reading, and we were making guesses and those guesses weren't accurate. So guessing for me is the last resort. We have so many other really great strategies, like chunking is my favorite. So if I were to write a word that we could chunk, all right, I'm going to pick a word out of this book right here, and we're going to chunk it. And chunking is when, oh, I got a good one, is when we break the word apart. Okay, so this word that I'm going to do, it's actually a word from our book today. And it actually has an S too. Let me scooch it over. Okay, so let's take a look at this word and let's chunk it, okay? And when we chunk, we've got to make sure that each of our chunks has a vowel, okay? Every chunk has to have a vowel. So I've got to make sure that. All right, are you there? I hope. Let's keep. All right, I think so. Sorry, I lost you there for a second. Let me go ahead and share my screen with you again, and I hope that we didn't lose everything we just did because we were working hard. All right, so I have this word here that we're going to chunk. Here it is. And so I'm going to draw my line right here because I see I have a consonant L, a vowel I, and a consonant Z. Okay, so vowels are A, E, I, O, U, and sometimes Y. So I know I have a vowel here in this chunk, and then that would give me a vowel here in this chunk. So if I had my line over here, that would give this chunk no vowel. So this is the right way to chunk this word. So let's go ahead and let's just focus on this chunk right now. So I'm going to cover up that. What does this chunk say? Liz. Liz. It says Liz. Liz. And then now I'm going to cover up this, and now we're just going to do this chunk. So I know that AR says R, okay? Ard, ards. So notice as I chunk, I make the sound and then I add it. So I know that this stays together because that's a chunk. So ard, ard, ards. Lizards, lizards, lizards. We figured that word out, you guys. So when we chunk, basically we're breaking the word into smaller parts to blend, and then we're adding the two blends together. Lizards, lizards. Okay, so that is going to be our chunking. And guess what? We've already figured out one of those tricky words in this book today, you guys. So now let's go ahead and we're going to read in the desert. In the desert. And the first time around, I'm going to read it nice and slow. You're going to follow along and read with me. And then the second time we read through, I'm just pointing and you're reading on your own. Okay? So here we go. I'm going to go ahead. Let me turn my light so we get a little bit better light going on here. In the Desert by Kate Pershing. Do you know a lot of things about deserts? I don't know if I know that much about deserts. I might be learning some things today. In the Desert by Kate Pershing. Let me get just right here so that you guys can see well. Let's go ahead and first let's look at the pictures, okay? Let's do a quick picture walk. So I'm just going to zoom in so we can see pictures. Ooh, lots of cactus. That looks like a lot of sand. A very sunny day. Oh, there's that lizard. And remember what I said about those color words too. Don't forget about those color words. So I'm noticing that he's a green lizard, so I bet I'm going to see both of those words on that page. Look, it's an owl, like Carolwood owls. Oh, a nice big cactus. Oh, how beautiful. This cactus has flowers. Wow, that's a pretty cactus. Oh boy. Now this is where I'm really gonna have to look at the word to make sure it's not bunny, because it could be rabbit, it could be bunny. I also know another word for an animal that looks like this is a hare, like the tortoise and the hare. So I'm really gonna be having to look at that word to make sure that I get the name right. Oh, there they are, look what they're doing. They're running. All right, so we've looked at the pictures, we've gotten our brains ready. Let's see if there is any words that we need to know. So there's words that we already know, like the word what. That's one of our sight words, what. And you. There's also the word desert that we're gonna need to know. And then look, that word that we've already chunked, lizard. Nice. All right, so let's go ahead and now let's go ahead and read in the desert. So the first time around, I will point and read, and I want you to follow along with me, okay? In the desert. In the desert. What can you see in the desert? You can see the yellow sun. The sun is hot in the desert. You know what I think I might go back and do, you guys? I noticed when I got to the end of this sentence that it's an exclamation mark. So I need to read that sentence a little differently, because an exclamation mark means that we read it more excited. So let's go back. Let's start back at the top and let's read it. And this time we'll read using the correct inflections with those punctuations. Here we go. You can see the yellow sun. The sun is hot in the desert. It is hot in the desert. You can see a green lizard. Lizards like to sit in the sun. You can see a brown owl. He looks and looks for little animals to catch. He looks and looks for little animals to catch. Oh my. Hopefully he doesn't see that lizard. Look at the big, big green. Oh man, I thought it was going to say cactus, you guys, but look, what letter does it start with? P. So it can't be cactus. Look at the big, big green plant. Plant. It likes the hot sun too. You can see white flowers on top of the big plant. You can see a brown, what is it? Rabbit. You're right. It starts with a r. Rabbit. Let's go back. You can see a brown rabbit in the desert. Look at the big ears. Rabbits can run fast. The sand is hot in the desert. They would have to run fast, right? I know how that feeling when I've been to the beach and the sand was really hot and I had to run quickly to get my flip-flops. I know how that rabbit feels. What can you see in the desert? You can see many things. You can. Okay, my friends, now it is your time to read it. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to point to the words and you're going to read it nice and loud. And if you struggle, remember that I want you to go back and rewatch this video and read along with me again and again to build up your fluency and your accuracy, which means getting those words right on the first time, and also making your voice a good reader voice. Okay, here we go. In the desert. And I'm going to let you read the title page nice and loud. Good job. Here we go. Great reading, you guys. You did it. Now, again, if you had a hard time with your reading independently, make sure that you rewind and you can watch this video again and again and practice, okay? Because the more we practice rereading books that we've read already, and the more times we reread, the better readers we become, because we increase our fluency, which is how fast we read. We increase our accuracy, which is how well we read the words the first time. And we also increase our good reader voice, okay? So make sure that you're using those reading strategies that we talk about in your independent reading. Make sure that you go back and you watch this video as many times as you need to, okay? So that you are able to read in the desert very, very well, okay? I hope you enjoy these guided reading lessons, and I hope to see you for my guided reading lesson number 3 soon. Have a great day. I wish you well. I love you. I miss you, and I hope to see you soon. Goodbye.